Hey, what's up, man? Seem like I gotta keep doing videos like this. I want to send horrible condolences. The condolences are obviously just unfortunate, man. I don't even have the words, but uh, yeah, Slim 400 was shot and killed. Um, Good artist, good friends with YG, somebody who is very much well rooted in the community out here. And I really like seeing him on online and just seeing his energy. Uh, he was a rapper slash comedian, but he said a lot of real stuff too. When he opened his mouth, he usually said things that would stick with me and kind of, give you something that you hold with you. And it's one of those situations where it's like, man, you just never know. You just never know. You know what I mean? You look up one day, somebody's doing well, they doing great, and then the next day, some violence or some tragedy can come their way, and that's just what has happened in this case. Obviously it's street politics. LA is going to be on fire about this. That goes without saying. This happened 9 minutes away from the house, from where I'm at right now, about 9 minutes away drive. And it's just another sad situation. You know, another sad situation. I'm hearing all the rumors. You're gonna hear about them too if you follow the situation about how he's an empire artist who's had multiple attempts on his life and then was fatally shot. Because that's exactly what happened. We talked about this with Young Dolph. It's been several others. A gentleman by the name of Mo3 out of Texas. If I'm not mistaken, XXX Tentacion was with Empire. It's a lot of artists that have been shot and killed, who've been a part of that that uh that label, man. I think it's starting to become a situation where you're saying, how many times does this something have to happen like this for us to start wondering if something needs to be considered that maybe isn't being considered at this point? Uh, you know, we're talking about two Empire artists in a matter of 2 months. Both, as I said, have had multiple attempts on their life that were unsuccessful. Slim 400 was shot 9 times a few years back. I think it was last year. He survived it, bounced back strong, healed up. We heard all the testimony, you know what I mean, in terms of some of the stuff that he experienced, what he was saying that happened. And then, not even a good 2 years later, we're saying rest in peace. It's just so much to take in. The easy way to look at it is say, where he died, where things happen. It's probably street politics. But when you look at all these coincidences, it's just like, man, you can't help but ask questions that don't have nothing to do with no street politics, but could be manipulated nevertheless through street politics, which is why I just, I really understand how important it is for, all of us who live in the city, and all of us who, um, understand what's going on out there, to just stay diligent, because LA is intricate. That's why I was always talking about a few days ago in another video. It's like, when you try to jump into this lifestyle that people are living outside, you can't really even know what your environment is. You don't know who's in cahoots with who. You don't know why somebody would suddenly want to come to a certain place where you at and just start firing at random stuff. And it's like, you don't know what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? It's in LA. It's hard to see clearly out here. That's what I will say. It's hard to see clearly. You don't know who's who. You don't really know who to trust. Everybody's after something. Half of them are actors and actresses, and the other half are just trying to maneuver through that environment. And I just, having grown up in this, I just know. I just know that if you get some money and you're from this area, and this goes for every area, but I think it rings true here. If you get some money and you're from this area, you got to get out of these neighborhoods, man. You have to. You have to. Even if you're deeply rooted in the community, even if you're deeply rooted politically, you have to live somewhere else. And when it's time to come here, you got to move like you're in the military. You got to move like you like you expect a threat, like you expect it. And that's the reality for a lot of people who live out here who are affiliated. You know what I mean? You have to be smart about how you operate. Um, because the streets aren't fair, man. They are not fair at all. I don't know if I don't know his personal world in terms of if he had any kids, but you just gotta assume a man had a family to love him and all that. So obviously, I send condolences to those who love him. Uh, you just pray for solutions to these never ending stories of revenge. Because everybody knows what happens next. Everybody knows what happens next. And so it's just like, and you see this so many times. Like growing up in LA, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, "Oh, streets on fire. So somebody reputable passed away." It don't even have to be nobody that you guys would know famous. It's just like street legends. Oh, that person died. All right, get in the house. It's don't be out there. Don't be around there unless you know you're supposed to be there. Don't be there. That kind of thing. And this, hey, don't have no name, man. Bullets don't have no name. And then what is being said, is that he wasn't even probably who they were targeting. It wasn't even like, it's obviously no details, but what's the word is that it was probably, because nobody knows nothing, probably wasn't even for him, that kind of thing. So who knows? Details will come out later, I guess. Maybe they won't. Maybe that's for the best too, seeing how this Dolph situation is gone. With the internet going crazy and just that situation has gotten really bizarre too, to be honest with you. Just talking, since we're talking about this type of stuff, unfortunately, it's like that Dolph situation. You got the whole internet trying to solve his murder. You got people coming up with burner accounts, pretending to be different characters in the situation, manipulating the situation. And it's like, man, when you let the wide public get a hold of something in this era, it's like, we really do interfere with investigations. I think it gets to a point where you have to respect that this something needs to change in order to kind of reel it in and to kind of maneuver in this environment of everyone having a voice and everyone using that voice however they choose. This is a troll world. There's a lot of trolls out there. There's a lot of agendas, a lot of people hidden in the shadows with a lot of pain who just want to move things around just because they want to be effective in doing so. People want to be famous for anything at all and will do the most horrible things just to receive the recognition that they feel they don't. And I think we saw a lot of that with that Dolph situation over these last 2 weeks. You have seen a lot of people come out of the shadows to just try to get some attention, and try to create chaos just off of the strength of the ability to do so. And I just think that we need to get to a point where we start controlling, or I don't know if the word control is the right way, but just start to kind of police in these environments a bit better as it pertains to just stopping people from having this much control over running narratives themselves and just creating chaos and confusion. So that's something I just wanted to put out there. But anyway, enough of that, man. Just back to Slim 400 and just condolences, of course, to everybody who loved him and his family. And I just pray for peace after the storm. That's what I'm asking for. So my name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I wish we'd have more good news to talk about in regards to this community. Every time I'm talking about a black rapper, we dying. Like literally. If we ain't talking about how they dropped an album, that's all I want to hear. I don't really want to talk about nobody dying no more. Street politics and snitching and all of that stuff is just, it's lame. It's lacking context for those who like to chime in the conversation. They don't know what they're talking about a lot of the time. Even myself, we don't know enough to really be chiming in and affecting things the way that we can with our voices. So we just got to do a better job. Talking heads like myself and everybody else, all these bloggers, we got to do a better job of representing whatever it is we talking about properly and waiting for real information to come our way so that we don't run with these troll narratives that ultimately misrepresent the subjects that we're speaking of. So that's something I want to work on myself, and I encourage everybody else who has a voice to consider it. So yeah, that's what I got, man. Sad stuff. Video 44. Peace.